is the Unawarded Black Podcast with your host, Jay Watts.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
Things do not work both ways. You can't have a person that goes out and does a peaceful protest, which is a completely American, and you get all up in arms about it, but then when these riots and this anger and this fury come out, then you want to mobilize the military and say, well, why don't we have any peaceful protests? You can't stoke violence and expect violence not to come back to you. Anyway, let's get to this. Today there's been a lot of curfews that have been put out today, even where I stay at and around the country, and people are disobeying these protests. It is a complete, it's about as close to a war zone in places as it ever was. And some of it is, some of it itself is just angry people, and some of it is vindictive people who are just out there to start things. There's a video, and I'm going to put a link to this video. There's a video out there where you actually have a guy who's paying people to go out and do certain things, telling them how to do it. And don't give me it's Antifa. No, these people are right-wing, and they want to put bad face on things. There's video, I put a link to this video too. There's a video where a man is busting the windows in the AutoZone, and one of the protesters go and asks, why are you doing this? And he runs away. He gets mad. This man follows him to the car. Why are you doing this? And these are the people, this shouldn't be the way it is. Now getting into some regular news of the day. Right now it seems that Donald Trump is considering putting the military out to enforce local laws because it's just stone crazy out there. I'm for one, am not a person that wants to get out and riot. I won't protest. And personally, my protest is these places, especially Minneapolis, or not say Minneapolis itself, because I believe the police chief has done an amazing job. But when there's no justice in areas, we shouldn't spend our money there. That's my best thing. You don't spend your money in places that don't want you there. Black money is power. That is the real power right there. We spend billions of dollars every year. But Donald Trump wants to militarize America, and let's go and give you a clip of that so you can hear exactly what he says, and we'll go more into it.
My fellow Americans, my first and highest duty as president is to defend our great country and the American people. I swore an oath to uphold the laws of our nation, and that is exactly what I will do. All Americans were rightly sickened and revolted by the brutal death of George Floyd. My administration is fully committed that for George and his family, justice will be served. He will not have died in vain. But we cannot allow the righteous cries and peaceful protesters to be drowned out by an angry mob. The biggest victims of the rioting are peace-loving citizens in our poorest communities. And as their president, I will fight to keep them safe. I will fight to protect you. I am your president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters. But in recent days, Our nation has been gripped by professional anarchists, violent mobs, arsonists, looters, criminals, rioters, Antifa, and others. A number of state and local governments have failed to take necessary action to safeguard their residents. Innocent people have been savagely beaten, like the young man in Dallas, Texas, who was left dying on the street, or the woman in upstate New York viciously attacked by dangerous thugs. Small business owners have seen their dreams utterly destroyed. New York's finest have been hit in the face with bricks. Brave nurses who have battled the virus are afraid to leave their homes. A police precinct has been overrun here in the nation's capital. The Lincoln Memorial and the World War II Memorial have been vandalized. One of our most historic churches was set ablaze. A federal officer in California, an African-American enforcement hero, was shot and killed. These are not acts of peaceful protest. These are acts of domestic terror. The destruction of innocent life and the spilling of innocent blood is an offense to humanity and a crime against God. America needs creation, not destruction. Cooperation, not contempt. Security, not anarchy. Healing, not hatred. Justice, not chaos. This is our mission, and we will succeed. 100%, we will succeed. Our country always wins. That is why I am taking immediate presidential action to stop the violence and restore security and safety in America. I am mobilizing all available federal resources, civilian and military, to stop the rioting and looting, to end the destruction and arson, and to protect the rights of law-abiding Americans, including your Second Amendment rights. Therefore, the following measures are going into effect immediately. First, we are ending the riots and lawlessness that has spread throughout our country. We will end it now. Today, I have strongly recommended to every governor to deploy the National Guard in sufficient numbers that we dominate the streets. Mayors and governors must establish an overwhelming law enforcement presence until the violence has been quelled. If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them. I am also taking swift and decisive action to protect our great capital, Washington, D.C. What happened in this city last night was a total disgrace. As we speak, I am dispatching thousands and thousands of heavily armed soldiers, military personnel, and law enforcement officers to stop the rioting, looting, vandalism, assaults, and the wanton destruction of property. We are putting everybody on warning. Our 7 o'clock curfew will be strictly enforced. Those who threaten innocent life and property will be arrested, detained, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I want the organizers of this terror to be on notice that you will face severe criminal penalties and lengthy sentences in jail. This includes Antifa and others who are leading instigators of this violence.
Once again, you can't have it both ways. Colin Kaepernick kneeled peacefully. He kneeled. You called him a son of a bitch. You can't have it both ways. We can have peaceful protests. Matter of fact, if you go back, if you think, if Donald Trump would have said that is American doing a peaceful protest, then we wouldn't have the riots we have now. You cannot have it both ways. If Donald Trump wants A peaceful nation needs to have a strong Justice Department. They need to be able to prosecute these crimes. Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery. All of these cases needs to be litigated by the Justice Department itself. Or at least at a point, there should be hate crimes associated with these cases. There's no reason why we should be out riding. We should have. Thing is, we don't have faith in our president. And to tell the truth, I don't think things would have gotten to where it is now if he would have just stayed off Twitter. People are upset about things the president say, and they pretty much challenging him. What you gonna do? Especially when Donald Trump posts things like, these thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd. And I won't let that happen. Just spoke to Governor Tim Walz and told him that the military is with him all the way. Any difficulty, and we will assume control, but when the looting starts, the shooting starts. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. And these people have gone out and challenged him. What you gonna do, Donald Trump? But this is what we've come to today. It's Donald Trump versus the people of America. We are tired of seeing the same thing over and over. And I think I've said the same thing over and over every day, but in this case, Donald Trump wants to militarize America to stop the protesters. And let's see how this goes. We know for sure that a lot of racists have infiltrated our military, and all it's going to take is for one of these racists to go out and, under the cover of being a military a soldier in the United States Army, to say, oh, this person doing something. He starts the shooting, and then it turns into an even bigger mess. And that's where it's headed to. And I don't want to see this, and I know you don't want to see this either. But that is the situation that we are in and that we're facing today. After today, I'll be doing a couple of, try to news it up a little bit and change the vibes. Hopefully, things will get better. But like and subscribe. And check out my Anchor. Like and subscribe on there too. I am Jay Watts, and this is the Unawarded Black Podcast.